This is a new segment I like to call Sloptown Population 2, because this is, I thought it'd be interesting to see what a generative AI horror short would be like, because I knew it would be terrible. And we can get more into like our feelings about AI here soon, but I wanted to, we've actually done this before where we've watched a couple like AI horror shorts because we wanted to see how, frankly, how laughably bad they would be. And this was no slouch.
This was also laughably bad.
This one was called Cave.
As much as you can think about how bad AI gets when it comes to like video stuff on a mainstream scale, there's no story. I mean, the thing there's like a crash. A bear looks at this giant meteor, later walks through an area, and then it shows a couple. Then this bear becomes some kind of alien being.
It's like incomprehensible.
I just don't. I mean, describing the plot is just not gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, like you there's no other way to do it other than to say a bear witnesses a meteor and just kind of meanders away, like no rush, just walks away, and then it cuts to a couple, a highly polished couple. Like I'm talking smooth skin, like I don't like hot dog legs, kind of like polish. And they walk into a cave
and they see the bear.
And then they hear noises, they're getting lost. They turn around and they see this monstrous bear. They're both in the cave, but then the next shot is the woman who is not in the cave.
Yeah.
So I guess she's not there anymore.
There's clearly like the husband is eaten by the bear.
Yeah. And then
she runs away.
It says 1 week later, some time passes, and it shows her in her house, apparently like somber and grieving about the death of her husband or partner or whatever. And then it shows her face, and it's mutilated.
Well, she's closing her eyes, and then when she opens her eyes, it's like a mutilated face. And you're like...
And then it just ends.
And then it just says directed by...
Well, and before it actually says directed by and shows the credits, it immediately shows you subscribe, a big subscribe button.
Oh my God. I almost feel bad for giving this, like, for generating some type of, like, viewership to this.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because, like, that's kind of the way I felt when I was thinking about if I wanted to do this, is, like, is there, like, tacit support, or at least views from simply watching this? Like, I don't know. Like, when I see a movie like this, and I think that like right when the credits start, the first thing it says is a short film by, and it shows the person's name, and it's like
you just
what did you do exactly?
You typed in a prompt.
I don't know. And if you've seen any bit of AI generated material, you really have this idea of like, it all tends to look the same. Like, don't you feel like whenever you saw that stupid Coca-Cola commercial and you're like...
Yeah. I mean, it all has that same... And the best way to put it is like, it's really smooth. Like I mean, I'm sure there are some videos that would probably look more realistic if you paid for, again, depends on which, system you use. But a lot of the same ones always do the same thing. All those big ones do the same thing. The free ones do the same. They make everything smooth and dumb looking.
It reminds me of the kind of footage you would see if you went to like Best Buy and you're looking at the TVs and they were just showing you like B-roll of like animals and trees and water and like ways to show you that look how bright and crisp the TV is.
Like it doesn't. I'll tell you the thing about videos like this too. There's like nothing imperfect about the characters. Like if you pause it, like they have no blemishes and no flaws. Like that's. I mean, the water looks too good. Like for being in a cave, things happen too fast. I don't know. It pisses me off. I hate AI.
The other thing that is really, I don't know that I see this called out as much as obviously the visuals, but like the audio is totally wrong. Like you'll see like this outdoor shot and it's raining and they're like inside of a cave or at the entrance of a cave, and you would think that like if this were a movie, you'd have tons of sounds you just don't even think about. You'd hear the patter of the rain. You'd hear a little splash.
Wind.
You'd hear the wind. You'd hear the leaves kind of rustling. All you hear is just like a couple footsteps. It's almost like you've got like a shotgun mic, and you've got it pointed at your subject, and everything else is completely out of the range of the microphone's amplification. I just like...
Yeah.
I mean...
It sucks.
I mean, we could talk at some point. We're not doing right now, but at some point we could talk more about like AI more in general, like in terms of like using AI as a tool. But like,
sure,
using it as a replacement for creative work like this, it just sucks.
It just is the most like, I don't know, lazy way to generate any type of like media. I don't know. It takes zero effort besides typing a prompt.
Well, and the thing is, like, I don't totally understand why you would use AI for some of... If you're trying to be an aspiring filmmaker, I don't know why you would use AI to generate a short film in its totality. Like, I can understand why somebody might say, like, hey, I don't have the means to do the CG for this one shot. I'll maybe use AI, which I don't necessarily agree with, but like to
it's
me,
a little bit more understandable.
Yeah, it's like it's more
utility.
tractable. Like the shot of a meteor hitting Earth. Okay, fine, I get it. But like two people in a cave, yes, I understand getting to a cave might be difficult, but like two human beings walking in the forest, like that seems pretty trivial to...
It almost feels like it just really sucks that this is kind of the things that we see when I think about myself when my friends and I made movies like in growing up. Like we would take like that, you know, a high 8 tape camcorder and walk through some place that has maybe a cave or something and film it.
Yeah.
You know, like that, I don't know. I feel like this just almost feels so like with the times, I guess, like just... We're too lazy to walk outside. I don't know. I mean, an iPhone camera would get a nice video of some people walk, and you could even do. Can't you do widescreen on a phone now?
I mean, you can film in you know, it films in 16:9.
That's what I mean.
But I mean, like the ratio, you could do it to whatever you want.
Oh yeah, but you could edit it, but it would take probably not a lot of effort to do that. Like to me, it just feels extremely lazy and poorly done.
I guess,
of course, it's AI.
Yeah, the thing for me is like kind of your comment about the making films when you're a kid with your friends or whatever. There's this sort of like unpolished, but I don't know what word I'd want to use here, but like there's sort of like unpolished yet fun and creative, and sort of like its imperfection is what makes it kind of interesting.
And that's it's the thing with AI. Like I said, it's just there's too many. It's too perfect. It's like there's no flaws.
Well, and I was watching. We both watch a couple like Let's Play YouTubers who do some horror games, and some of the games I think are the most interesting are not the ones that have like this big budget. They're, you know, really polished, really nice. They've got these great graphics. I think some of the ones that I think are the most interesting are the ones that look like something different. Like it's a labor of love. It's something that's maybe not super polished, but it's unique. Its uniqueness is what draws you to it. Like there's this game that it's going to sound like I'm dogging on the game because it's not as not as polished as but like comparing it to something like Resident Evil, where Resident Evil has like thousands of developers, millions, literally tens of millions of dollars put into the game engine. There's this game that's so fun and creative and silly called The Frog Detective. Have you ever heard of that?
I feel like I've heard of it, but
it's like a hand-drawn game of a frog solving a mystery inside of this universe with other animals, and it's like it's silly, it's goofy, and yes, they did have more than just one person, but like it's I remember that game so much more vividly than a lot of the other games that this person plays.
Yeah.
Because it's just so different.
I think you're gonna find that like that's kind of where I see a lot of things trending. It's like games, at least and we don't have to talk about it too in depth because I know this is a discussion maybe for another time. But like, I kind of agree that for the most part, like games that feel unpolished, that feel more like labor of love, like Aaron was saying, I think those are the games that you find even they're way more enjoyable than the most polished of games, or they're more memorable because you could tell like somebody put effort and time into it. And there's something to say about that, like putting effort into something, even though it's not like there might be some flaws with this part or whatever, or I totally agree. There's something about the effort that someone puts in that you can clearly see the difference. And that's why it's called slop. Like, this is slop. Like, it just looks bad. It also feels bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like what you would classically call the uncanny valley. Like, it being like so close to being realistic, but hitting this big deep valley of like there's something that feels strange, peculiar.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
And I mean, like, I have gotten more accustomed to using AI just at work and stuff like that, and I think a lot of the people that you see that hype it up a lot are the same people that don't necessarily totally understand LLMs and what they are good at and what they're not good at. Because, I mean, people will blindly trust what they output, whether it's a fact or it's a summary or it's a full feature short film. Mm-hmm. And it hallucinates so much material. And there are so many times where you have to say, like, hey, are you sure that what you just told me is true, or did you make it up? Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of times where if you ask questions like that, they'll be like, yeah, I did make that up.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't think people, that's why the girl at the end is outside the cave, or sometimes it's a different girl, or sometimes they're wearing different clothes. It's like, they hit this uncanny valley, and I don't know if AI will ever get out of that totally, but I don't think using AI is a substitute for human creativity, human expression. It certainly doesn't mean the same, and I honestly don't even think it looks as good.
Yeah.
But
I think the world will end before we see what AI can truly do.
I hope so.